I wonder what would happen if I just keep going. I wonder what would happen if I just keep going. This one question that has recently become my mantra in my life. If I knew this and I had this question 5 years ago, my life would be very, very different. And if you struggle with doubt and shame and fear and things just stopping you in your tracks, whether you're embarking on an amazing project that you want to create, or start a new business, or a great piece of art, or even moving through a relationship, or any difficulty in life, this one question is just the game changer. I wonder what would happen if I just keep going. See, a lot of people think that starting things is hard, and it can be. It can be really hard, very fearful to start something, to put yourself on the line, to be vulnerable. And what you find when you actually do something that your heart is invested in, that your soul is telling you to do, that you're excited about, when you take that leap, amazing things happen. But that's not where most of my trouble has been in life. Most of my trouble has been in starting, things going good initially, and then when things get challenging, when there's incredible difficulty, when there's incredible setbacks, when there's insurmountable evidence that I should stop in my body, fear coming up, shame, great doubt, and shame can wear so many different clothes. It can be so convincing, everything in your system just telling you, you know what, it's time to stop. It's time to pack it in. It's just not going to work out. You shouldn't have bothered anyway. It's just not going to work. They're going to laugh at you. Look, nobody's even showing up for the thing. Like it's just crap. Or this isn't the right thing for you. Maybe this other shiny object is the right thing. And if you listen to those voices, like I have on many, many occasions, what you end up with is a life of many, many beautiful false starts, but nothing that has never truly takes you into the depths of your creativity and what you are here to offer for the planet, for others, through yourself. You'll never tap into your medicine. You'll never tap into your real transmission, because your real transmission on this planet requires the cultivation of that inner resilience and that inner virtue of, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. Like the rain, when it pours down from the clouds, when thunder comes down, it doesn't stop because, maybe it's time to stop. It just keeps pouring because that's what it does. When a river flows through the freaking valley, it doesn't stop on account of doubt or because there's some rocks, in the way. It's just going. But when it comes to the flow of our own creativity, to the flow of our own power, we can get a little scared about that stuff. We can get scared when all of a sudden, these impulses come up, these sensations of fear come up, these sensations of great doubt. And they're incredibly convincing because they'll use every single ounce of everything, every memory you have in the past that will convince you, it's time to stop because of this thing my dad or my mother said, or they said, or he said, or she said, or that thing I did or didn't do, or maybe I'm not smart enough. All this stuff will just be at the resource of that one little freaking ounce of doubt, and that little droplet of doubt will look like Mount Everest. So the courage to not stop, is so much more powerful to cultivate, so much more important to cultivate than the courage to start. Like that's one thing, but the courage to not stop, this is the game changer. And for me, this one question, I wonder what would happen if I just keep going, has become the mantra that has served me so much on this path. Because on any given day, you can have so much doubt, so much turmoil, so much it's like it just feels easier just to stop, to just give up, to look for something else. And what we're really avoiding in that moment is the unknown. And the doubt will tell you, well, the unknown is just going to be certain failure, certain doom, extremely uncomfortable, so stop. But all of a sudden you can just flip that on its head with, well, I wonder what would happen if I just keep going. And that could mean, just take one more breath. Sometimes when you're dealing with great difficulty, like just breathing alone is an act of courage. Sometimes that would mean just taking that 1% action more, just going for one more day, just one more repetition, just one more tiny leap of faith. And everything is always one tiny leap of faith away. And before you know it, you're like, I wonder what would happen if I just keep going. And you realize you're actually quite safe. You did take that one more step. And the universe rewards you. It shows you like, well, look, this is a possibility. This is a potential. The frequency that you start emitting is one of trust, one of faith. And it's the only thing that can carry you through it. Trust, faith, one little leap at a time. The courage to not stop isn't this freaking like conviction, this warrior mentality where you feel invincible. Quite the opposite. It is the capacity to be vulnerable, to be scared, to be freaking exhausted, to be looking the abyss straight in the face and simply ask that question. I wonder what would happen if I just keep going. And it's just 1 second, it's just one moment. It's in this one defining moment where history is made. It's this one defining question in this one moment where the outcome of the destiny of your life is going to completely shift. If you own this question and you own those tiny moments, you can shift the droplet that is a Mount Everest into something that just flows on by and you keep going. So I wonder what would happen if you just keep going. I wonder what would happen. And it opens up possibility because all of a sudden you're like, well, it's probably doomed. It's probably not going to work out. It's all crap. And, I know it's shit and, it's all going to just fall apart. And yeah, I shouldn't have started anyway and blah, 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 whatever the freaking blah, blah, blah voice is. But you just soften. You're like, okay, well, I wonder what happened if I just keep going. And all of a sudden that has like no weight to it because you're moving beyond the conclusion of whatever that was. And beyond the conclusion is complete unknown, complete possibility. And you're not chained to the conclusions. You're free there. You're like, okay, well, you can accept the certain defeat even, but you don't have to accept that you stop. You can just be in the curiosity of what will happen if I just take one more step. And there's tremendous freedom there because all of a sudden there's like no expectation to make it into anything, to even succeed, because it's completely out of your control. What is in your control is asking this question and just, can you take one more step? If you can take one more step, then you can be in the curiosity of what that step will bring. And the next step might bring in even more tremendous doubt and tremendous fear, because as you move beyond the conclusion of whatever was there before, whatever's holding you to that conclusion is just going to scream louder. The dragon always screams when you're not feeding it, the dragon of fear in the cave. And so you'll feel even more doubt, even more suppressed shame or whatever might come up that will tell you you're not right, you're not perfect, you're not worthy, you can't do it, this isn't for you. And yet that one question is still your safe anchoring ground of, okay, I hear you, doubt and shame and fear and ridicule, whatever. I love you. And I wonder what would happen if I just keep going.